Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ryota Murata with Gennadyevich Triple G Golovkin. Make sure you subscribe to the Triple B.
Yes, Wagwan Shalom. So, early today, certainly if you're is in Japan, so if you're in Europe or America, it's kind of early, but Ryoto Murata and Gennady Golovkin boxed for the world title, for Golovkin's world title. Yeah, I quite like to pronounce the names in what I assume to be their correct, their native tongue, like David Greenblatt. Diamante, of course, as he's now called. He likes to do it as well, like Diamante, when he likes to pronounce them in like the Spanish correctly and whatever. I quite like that because it shows some effort's been made, and I like the to pronounce foreign names in a really anglicized way. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a bit weak, but definitely Diamante goes a bit over the top because he does it for attention, right? You remember when Joseph Parker fought, was it Chisora last time, yeah? And and he was introducing them at the weigh-in even as well, and at the fight. And Diamante said Joseph Parker's entire Samoan name. Yeah. I don't know if he said it twice. I honestly genuinely don't know if he said it twice because it's a long name. I'll try and read it, right? It's Lupe Soliai Lauliole Malietu. As far as I can pronounce it, yeah. And he's done it without checking his notes. He's just showing off, man. I don't mind that aspect of it. Do you know what I'm saying? But he's definitely showing it off. He wants to make a character and a statement. He wants to be a character and make us, it's like his stupid repetition thing. In reality, Greenblatt was probably in front of the mirror for 2 months saying Parker's name, repeating it, so it would just get in his head. It's not easy to say that thing. So back to the old Triple G Murata fight. I don't know what Murata's nickname is. Probably something Japanese, I imagine. But I can't put any footage of the fight up because YouTube and certainly some channels like Sky's the Sky definitely is on it. Dazen, I think, probably as well now. And even if you use like songs and stuff like pop songs or whatever, they'll put you a copyright. They won't necessarily strike you, although they can do, but certainly if you use too much, but they'll it will damage your video's reputation and you won't be able to monetize it. So I don't want to, I can't put any footage on really. I might put the end on and just see what happens. But, they should allow you to, I think, by law, I think it's 15 seconds in America and in the West. If you're doing it as a news item, which this is clearly a news item because I'm reporting on a fight. Anyway, forget about that. So to the fight, Murata. He had this huge head, man. So first thing I noticed, he had a massive head. Much bigger than Golovkin's head, Triple G's head, which looked like a pea head, next to Murata's great, massive, loaf. The Triple G nickname, it's quite weird, isn't it? It's not exactly very original. It doesn't really say anything, does it? What does it mean, Triple G? I mean, I know it's a reference to his name, which is Gennadyevich Golovkin. So it's like it must be called Thomas, Tommy, Thomas, and then whatever Smith. I don't know. Or something start with T. Probably Taylor. Thomas, Tommy, Taylor. It's like that. Triple T. Mind you, I'm the Triple B. So I can't moan. But that's because like my name is Boxing Basement, the channel. That's quite a tongue tie. I prefer Triple B. And that's the name I was given, by the way. I didn't choose it for myself. Like, You know, some people do, like, the fraud Fearon, for example. You know what? That's not even, I don't want to talk about him, actually. Forget about it. I'm going to do another video, rinse out. He's been spamming my channel, yeah, all day. He said he don't care, and he's done like 40 comments on it or something like that. Yeah, he's been watching the videos and he's grassed loads of comments out. He's a sickening scumbag. Anyway, I'm not going to ruin this video by talking about the failure, the fraud, the grass, most importantly. So, Triple B, yeah, I was given that name, so I'm going to carry it, and I like it, kind of like it. Golovkin, he had a nice tan as well. He looked really tanned. He looked quite pale sometimes, but he'd definitely been, I don't know where he trained. I don't remember where he trained. Maybe it was, I don't know, was California hot at this time of year? I don't know, anyway. The other thing is, right, you got to remember, like, he arrived a week ago. Now, I don't know where he trained, but it wasn't close to Japan, and the time difference makes it an awful... Your body takes a week to get used to it. At least your week, it messes up your physiology, your body clock, your mind. Your body's used to a certain routine, and it messes it right up. And I think this might have caused Golovkin to have a below par kind of showing. Having said that, the fight, it was a solid enough fight, It was a solid enough fight. What's weird, the Japanese crowd, they're not into cheering and going nuts, which is quite civilized, right? Because you don't have idiots jumping up in front of you when you're trying to see a fight. I remember the first fight I seen I was young, and it was quite a big fight. It was quite had good seats, and people kept on jumping up. I couldn't see what happened. I got up on my seat, right? Because I was near a security guy. He goes, "Sorry, mate, you got to sit down." I said, well, what about there's 10 rows of people in front of me standing up? He goes, "Sorry, mate." I walked off. I was like, what a mug. Anyway, so I didn't, I like trying to watch the fight. It's not exactly easy, man. You've got to get good seats if you're going to see a live fight. Don't bother otherwise. These days, they've got big, what's it called? They've got big screens. You can see what's going on. But you might as well stay at home if you're going to watch a screen. I know people talk about the atmosphere, but sorry, man. The most important thing is seeing the fight. So yeah, like I said, in Japan, they just don't seem to get excited. Like there was Tyson Douglas, a good fight as well, by the way, and one of the biggest upsets ever. Yeah, no one seemed to care, man. They just didn't say nothing. There was no noise, and this fight was a tiny bit of noise. It probably, like in Japanese terms, it's probably like a shouting the gaff down. Even one of the commentators goes, "Oh, the crowd are starting to pick up a bit." You can still hardly hear them. So that takes some of the atmosphere away, yeah. So Golovkin, I'd say it was a bit disappointing, certainly in the beginning. Yeah. Murata has average speed. He got a decent right hand, but he's not that quick. And Golovkin just looked slower than usual, And he got hit with quite a few shots early on, yeah. But, to the head and the body. But his jab was still pretty good, but just looked a lot slower. Early on, and I wasn't looking at it like with, it wasn't like a super fight for me, but it looked like Murata had a little chance. He seemed to hurt the Triple G with body shots at one point. But, Golovkin's so tough, I don't think he's been on the floor, surely not, he just take the shots. His arms seem to drop a little bit, and he sort of breathed a bit of air. But he's like a Terminator, man. He just comes forward, don't he? He don't look like a Terminator, but he is. And so he was getting hit early on. But like I said, Golovkin didn't quite look right, and obviously he's aged a bit now, but he still has a fabulous chin. He took some solid shots to the head. And eventually, Murata, was slowed by pressure, by relentlessness, and a few big shots starting to land. But he was game. And then the 9th round, he's getting hurt. He looks like he's near the end, yeah. And then suddenly Murata just has another crack, lands some good shots, on Golovkin's head, which is he's looking at facially a bit old, and he's starting to bald. You know, and when the body starts to look old and the head starts to look old, you know, the whole of the body's aging. The muscle, there's no reason why the muscles should be aging too. So, Murata was gutsy and fought back, but at the end, you know, I think it was a right hand from Golovkin, and Murata did a kind of Mortal Kombat thing when he sort of spun half around, he started wobbling around a bit. And, you know, like, you remember, like, David Price had happened to him, and it happened to that woman, Terry Harper. It happened to, I don't know if you saw the Triller, the triad fight thing. What's that guy called? Pulev. He was fighting a MMA guy. Oh, what's his name now? I forget. I'll remember later. And he banged him. Yeah, and this is bare knuckle, I think. Banged him, and the guy takes steps back, starts wobbling like, finish him. You know, so it was a bit of that, and he got banged over with a left hook. You know, the corner did the right thing. They threw the towel in. You know, they don't want the man to harry-kiri and kill himself. But, yeah, so Triple G gets to win, you know, in the 9th round. But the main thing that I came out thinking was his skills are getting, I mean, they're a bit rusty, and that might be age. Obviously, it's going to be a bit of age. It might be, you know, the jet lag. And his power is still strong, but it seems to have diminished a bit. It's not as powerful. But he got that concrete chin still. So, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the show, they're saying, Canelo will fight him next and all that kind of stuff for a third time, whatever it is. And, you know what, on that performance, I would not be surprised if Canelo stopped Golovkin again. You know, whether he knocked him out or just stopped him with accumulation. I mean, he was just a bit easy to hit and a bit slow. You know what I mean? I don't think it will happen myself, because Canelo's going up to 175 anyway and fighting Bivol, and 15 pounds is a lot of muscle to drop. You know, because there ain't no fat on Canelo, is there? Yeah, 15 pounds of muscle, more or less, he's going to have to drop, and that can really weaken you when you do a big weight drop. I mean, it's more weight, but remember when Roy Jones dropped down from heavyweight to fight Ruiz, and Tarver, I think, was just ironed him out. So, you know, I can see why he's going to hold on, Triple G, but you know what? I think maybe just be like, you know what? If he's got enough cash, and he doesn't look like a kind of guy who spends it on stupid things like gambling, drugs, drink, gold chains, Versace clothes. So I'm sure he's got money, yeah? And I think, you know, it's like, you know what, I call it a day. Or have one more fight against a weak guy that I can chin, just as a goodbye fight, maybe in Kazakhstan, you know? I don't know if he's fought there or how often, but, you know, give his homeboys something to look at, something to cheer, and retire in his own country. I think that would be what I would suggest if I was his manager or his brother. You know, his trainer is his twin brother. He doesn't really look like him. He does sort of, but he's fatter. But they don't look like, you know, those are definitely twins. You'd think it was just an older brother who's a bit fatter. Anyway, yeah, let's see what happens. But I don't think he should take a Canelo fight.